Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today we are celebrating have a Dharma assembly on guanyin, and thank you all for coming. Our practice here at our temples is based on a lot of guanyin bodhisattvas, dharma doors. That's compliments from my late teacher, Master Shenhua. So we should be very grateful to him for this privilege. And very early on, I remember we had a lot of responses right away. When you started at Lu Mountain Temple, I remember there was a lady who tried to get a child. It's a Chinese, Vietnamese lady. Her husband is, I believe, Taiwanese or Chinese. And she had many miscarriages, and she could not conceive at all. So she came to the temple out of desperation. She talked to a lot of temples, asked a lot of temples for help. Couldn't get any help, much help. So she finally wandered into our tiny Lu Mountain Temple, which no one could find. People still can't find Lu Mountain. And she cried, and he said, I'm so desperate. I need a miracle. I want a child. This is, I quit my job, and my single purpose in life is to give my husband a child. I said, please, what can you do? I said, well, I don't know. Why don't we, in our environment, Master Shenhua's disciples and my disciples have a lot of luck with guanyin dharma doors. So what you do is you go back and recite the Pu Ban Pin like we just did today. And in time you will hopefully have a child. And she did that. And she got pregnant again. And then although the pregnancy was very difficult, almost got a miscarriage, then lots of bleeding and lots of troubles. But somehow she managed to pull through, because every time she was told to recite Guanyin's name. And it worked until delivery day, when the baby came out. After the head popped out, they realized that the umbilical cord was wrapped around its neck. And so if you continue, chances are that the baby would die. Okay, yeah. And I think it came out wrong, right? The foot came out first, so that they couldn't cut the umbilical cord. And whatever the reason, however it came out, they said we might have to terminate the baby because it might be born with physical issues and mental issues. And she said, no, I'd rather die than kill my baby and lose this baby. So she continued. And amazingly, the baby came out and was fine, was not strangled at all. And that's one of the early examples of the kind of responses we got. Many of us got from guanyin dharma doors. Okay, so that gave us a lot of encouragements on building our faith and believe in the Bodhisattva's power, and she's watching over us. And so keep that in mind. If you look for a baby, hopefully 4, and my hope is you get 4 babies, and 4 beautiful babies, Buddhist babies, and those of you who are seeking to have babies should be consider reciting this Universal Door chapter as well every single day, and it works. It really works, believe me. Okay, and later, of course, there are other people who also came later, and they also were told to do the medicine master Buddha Dharma as well. We worked as well. So we have the bodhisattvas and medicine master Buddha watching over us as well. So have faith. Okay? Anyone has any questions or responses or comments they'd like to share with us? Today, I want to apologize to you. I don't do a lot of ceremonies anymore, and today I'm rather disappointed. There are a lot of improvements that could be made. What we do here in our temples is trying to set the standards for American Mahayana, not Chinese, not Vietnamese, not Thai, not whatever, Korean, okay? It's American Mahayana. So what's the difference? Difference is that because there's so few of us, we need to increase the quality. There's no quantity, therefore we make up for quality. And so what do I mean by that? I'm disappointed of the lack of leadership skills of the monks in Buddhism. I've been to Korea, I've been to Taiwan, I've been to Chinese temples, Vietnamese temples, Thai temples, so forth. And I feel that if you were to look at the leadership skills of the monks and nuns, especially the ones you see when they're doing ceremonies, they fall very short of the standards of leadership skills that I expect from American companies. American companies, we spend a lot of time training our people and put them to leadership positions to make a big difference to the company. And that's what I hope to do here in our American Buddhism as well. We pick a lot of good things from the various cultures, but they all lack this training on leadership, which is too bad, because the monks and nuns have a very important leadership roles in our society. People come to us, and we are helping stir the boat of compassion and of kindness, where we can ferry people, a lot of people, from a shore of suffering to the shore of true happiness, of nirvana. Okay? And therefore, the leadership skills are required to do a better job. And it starts with ceremonies. I've been ignoring it because we're short-handed. And we still are short-handed, but we have now the samadhi power, which I helped you build and develop. And now we need to fine-tune them to add more leadership skills. Okay? For example, the Wayno is too timid. You know, when you hit the big bell, it has a hit like you remember you stand up there and you're telling the assembly what to do, okay? So you want to make sure, yes, during early mornings and so forth, we don't want to wake our neighbors up. So yes, you hit softly. I understand that. But when there's a big group here, when a lot of people are coming, you want to make sure you hit it loud enough for people to hear you. Okay, same thing with handbell. Handbell is too timid. You know, I can't hear anything. And then the chanting. You have to be better. The Wayno has a very important leadership role in the ceremonies. So I hope you all pay more attention to it. Okay, I'm not asking you on the audience, especially the monks and nuns in the front, to lead. But at least I'm asking the ceremony people to do a better job, okay? And make sure we hear you. And same thing, the small wish fish today, I can't hear it at all. The big wish fish is okay. It could be twice as loud. Wayno should be 2 or 3 times as loud. The handbell should be 4 or 5 times as loud. And the big bell should be about 10 times as loud. I can't hear it at all. You know, we spend so much money buying these fancy equipment, high quality equipment. Okay? I mean, even though I didn't have money, that's the first few things I bought. I spent a lot of money on the dharma instruments because it's an offering to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. We all are making an offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You stand here in the audience, participate in the ceremony, you are also making an offering to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. And we offer it with the best sound possible we could buy. Let me tell you. They do it for you as well. Okay? And so we need to be aware, cognizant of the quality of the offering. The better quality, the more blessings we have. So use them properly. A small wish fish, a big wish fish has to be loud enough. So I know it's beyond the control of the people on the altar, but also the people in the sound booth. You need to be better at it as well. And the drum and bell should have a better beat. It's off. Okay? And so there's lots of room to improve. I will give you 5 years. In 5 years' time, we have more people, and I want you to be better than that. All right? I know we're short-handed, but I'm giving you a vision. I'm giving you a warning in advance for you to improve in the right direction. Okay? Any questions and comments? Okay, that's all the complaints I have for today. I was so afflicted during the ceremony. It's such a beautiful ceremony. And it's amazing. You Asians are such sheeps. You should be complaining. See, I'm American. I'm more Americanized. I was bitching the whole time. I said, what? I can't hear you. When I'm supposed to get up, I couldn't even hear the small bell that tells me, get up! So I have to look at people. Oh, they're up, so I better get up. Okay? So be deliberate. That's called leadership. You need to develop the leadership skills. You Asians are too sheepish. Okay? It's not good enough. We can't save people. We can't do a lot of good if you are that sheepish. Okay? I will train you to be leaders as well as followers. When I put you up here in leadership positions, you have to understand that I'm giving you a chance, and if you don't develop leadership skills, I pull you back. Samadhi is just a starting point. We first train you, help you develop samadhis so that you have the foundation. Once you have the foundations, then we will increase more worldly, high worldly standards for you, so that we set the standards for the world to see what American Mahayana is like, not Asian, not Chinese. Okay? I'm telling you right now, Chinese, Korean, lack leadership for monks and nuns because they're not trained properly. Why is that? Because monks and nuns are too worried about making money and making ends meet. Okay? Lacks purity of the heart. Okay? All right. Anyone? Yes, 6.
Thank you, Masters. I have a question. During the ceremony, there was a line called evoking the Bodhisattva strength, the guanyin Bodhisattva strength. So how do we evoke the Bodhisattva strength? Niệm quán âm từ bi lực trong tiếng Việt. Cảm ơn Thầy. Thank you.
No translation?
Master, he's speaking English.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. I was daydreaming. Why did you guys ask the kind of details that the Asians never ask? Why can't you be like Asians and don't ask difficult questions? You know, in my master's Chinese temples, no one ever asks anything. So that's why none of them would dare come here, because your questions are too tough. You know, how do you get the, you call on the Bodhisattva strength, okay? It's a natural. When you call on a Bodhisattva, okay, it's a very good question, by the way. When you ask, it's like praying for the Bodhisattva's help. Is that clear? What we're doing when we're bowing earlier, we said, you know, when we bow, we call on the Bodhisattva's compassion, call on Bodhisattva's strength in order to help do this, help do that, and take advantage of her many vows to help living beings. So when you do that, you are making yourself, you're connecting yourself to the Bodhisattva's power of compassion and of kindness. So it's like, it's a power plant, if you will. It's a nuclear plant. It's right there. Okay? So you say, I'm going to draw upon that nuclear plant, the power from that nuclear plant. All right? It's not the end of it. But the Asian are taught to say, you do that and that's good enough. Okay? It doesn't quite work like that. You call on the Bodhisattva's power, like you draw, you connect to the nuclear plant, okay? But also, the power you draw depends on you as well, doesn't it? When you draw on the nuclear power plant, you can only draw as much as you are able to. Your facilities are able to draw upon, okay? Same thing. When you pray to guanyin bodhisattvas and ask for help, when you pray to God and ask for help, what the Catholic and Christians are not taught is that actually it's the same as calling to, as similar, it's not the same. Come on, you know, it's like 9-day Catholic. Okay. Why do you keep on coming? I don't get it. We abuse you every single time. At least marry her, for God's sake. Have some compassion, marry him. Never mind. Okay, same thing. When you pray, it's like drawing, you see, you're connecting to this power source, right? Nuclear plant, power source. But the kind of help and power you draw from that depends on your facilities, yes? Depends on how much you can draw. Yes? Because it's unlimited here, but you can draw so much. That's what the Buddhist disciples are not taught. They say, oh, just pray Amitabha, pray guanyin, pray to God, and you know, everything will be fine. No. When you draw, you have a filter. It depends on how much you draw. And what is that nature of that filter? Your samadhi power. Can you see that? You pull it back. Yes? And samadhi power also symbolizes your capacity, your ability, your battery, if you will. How much you can draw, how much you can store. Does it make sense? So that's why it takes both sides. You need to connect with the Bodhisattva, connect with God, connect with the Buddha and so forth. But also, on your end, you also need to be a worthy dharma vessel in terms of your samadhi level and your faith. That's what the the devotees are not taught. Not in Buddhism, not in Catholicism. They just said, just believe in God. I'm more interested in helping you maximize what you can get from the Bodhisattva, from the Buddhas, from the gods. Does it make sense? That's why we help you develop samadhi power, because you get more from the Bodhisattva, from the gods, from the spirits. Because when you ask, you need to do that yourself. Good question. Thank you. Okay? Unless you ask, I'm not going to explain to you. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master.
Catholic, stay on that side. Yes.
We have a question from Nick, and the last name is spelled E-L-Y. How do you pronounce that? L-Y? Lee or Lai or? Yeah, no wonder I'm confused.
English is lie.
Lai?
Just kidding.
Okay. He or she asks, how come there are guanyin statues with 1,000 arms, and what does it represent? Thank you.
It represents many, many things, one of which is the Bodhisattva have this vow, great compassion, that she would have these 1,000 arms. What you don't realize, 1,000 arms, each arm also has an eye right here, okay? And that symbolizes the Bodhisattva's vast power of compassion. She would grow 1,000 arms so that she can help more people concurrently. Think, if you will, those Thai dances. Been to Thailand? I haven't been to Thailand, but Thai dances, you see the camera sees a lady, the dancer, and all of a sudden you have like 20 different arms going like this. Okay, same thing. Okay, so the more arms you have, the more you can help. So 1,000 symbolizes many, many arms. It's not limited to 1,000. She can help 1,000 people at the same time. Actually, she can help 10,000 at the same time. Okay? Hey, Catholic, you probably don't realize it, but we Buddhists, many Buddhists, whenever they're in trouble, they all call for guanyin's help. So every day, guanyin needs about 10 million hands to help. So 10 to 1,000 symbolizes that, among other things. Next question. Yes, 2.
Master, how does our karma hinders the help from guanyin?
Good question. My God, you ask real good questions. You guys are too sophisticated, and we have no leadership skills. It's terrible. Professors should develop leadership skills as well, by the way. Never mind. So, what was the question again?
How do our karmas hinder the help from guanyin?
Many ways. First thing is that people who hear guanyin, they say, no, that's superstition because of karmic obstructions. Just because you have bodhi seats in your Buddha nature, in your eighth consciousness, okay, doesn't mean that you are able to access. Okay, very much like you have money in the bank, doesn't mean you can withdraw the money. If they stop you accessing the ATM and going to the branches, there's nothing you can do. Same thing. Okay, so your karmic retributions can stop you from accessing the help. All right, and just think about those who don't even know about Guanyin Bodhisattva. Okay, that's even worse obstruction because they actually there's a wall that stops them. They can't even see, they can't even hear. Okay, I'll give you a funny story. My late grandma from my mother's side, she was taught to recite the Buddha's name. She was old, and so she was in her like 80s or something. And so we brought her from Vietnam to near San Francisco, Foster City, and to stay. And we taught her to recite the Buddha's name all day. And that's all she did all day. I knew that she only recited when my mom was around. When she wasn't around, she would doze off or do something. That's Vietnamese women for you in that generation. But she recited the Buddha's name every single day. Okay, and so one day, and she's been there, has been living there for a few years, up to 5 years. One day, she was hospitalized and couldn't breathe. So they brought her to the emergency room, and the doctors was, giving her a thing, and the doctor says, "I can't do anything. Okay, there's nothing I can do. She can't breathe." Okay, so my mom, she told me this story. My mom said, "Okay," "Mother, recite the Buddha's name. Recite the Buddha's name." She's right there. She was right there standing by her deathbed and say, "Recite the Buddha's name. Remember to recite Buddha's name. Recite the Buddha's name." And my grandma could not even recite the Buddha's name. She was so terrified of death, she couldn't recite the Buddha's name. How scary it was. Okay, so your karmic obstruction, don't take anything for granted, because during those times, your karmic obstruction could come and stop you. Doesn't matter how long you've been reciting Buddha's name, how good you are. Okay, your karmic obstructions can overcome you. This is why we are around, because your karmic obstruction can obstruct you, but they probably cannot obstruct us. So that's why don't take anything for granted. You never know. Okay? Including myself. When my karmic obstructions came, I was bedridden for 2 months. You see? So it happens to any of us. Any questions? Any other questions? If not, then we can stop, take a short break, and come back for lunch offering. Thank you.